الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وبعد. I have a few audios about the topic of the leadership of the Masajid in America. I have said before, and I'm going to talk about it today again, inshallah, or tonight, that the masjid is Allah's house, the house of Allah. The masjid is Allah's house, the house of Allah. We all agree on that. There is the ayat that talk about the masajid, including وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ, and the masajid are for Allah and for Allah. No one disagrees, as much as I know, that the masjid is Allah's house. As such, it is a religious institute, organization, entity. If someone starts and opens a medical clinic and start operating, treating patients without a license, what is going to happen to them? If someone starts an engineering firm, architects, for example, and he starts, drawing plans for homes and buildings without a license, what's going to happen to them? If someone who's not informed about the religion of Islam operates, directs, leads a masjid, they should have a license. It is called ilm, knowledge, in the Quran and Sunnah. They don't have to be scholars. Students of knowledge is fine. People who are aware of the essential aspects of the religion and they lead a religious organization, then alhamdulillah, that's good. I support that the administration of the masajid should have someone who is more informed about the religion than the rest of the board, for example. And some of the respected leaders of the Muslim community, including doctors, engineers, especially the engineers will be needed, inshallah, when there is an expansion, because the imam might not be informed about the engineering aspect of an expansion. So the Muslim engineer who has some knowledge in the religion at least would be advising on how to do it, and the imam or the religious leader or advisor would be saying, okay, alhamdulillah, otherwise if there is something that is not acceptable in the religion, he will tell them. Also, people who are ordinary Muslims, they don't have to be doctors and engineers, have a representation. It is a religious organization. As such, don't you think that the one who is knowledgeable in the religion would run this religious organization, instead of commoners in the religion whose only qualification is their wealth or position or title, running a masjid? Based on what? I started my first trip for da'wah in America 1981. We are in April 2023. Count how many years. Since then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me to visit hundreds of masajid in around maybe about 40 different states. I'm not talking even about other countries, in the states. About 40 states, hundreds of masajid, literally. In one weekend, I remember we visited 10 different masajid in St. Louis. And what I see throughout the experience that I had with this masajid is that the board, the one that's running the masjid, they don't have enough knowledge in the religion. And the decision making, it's based many times, hear me well here, let me fix this, hear me well, based on whatever comes to their mind. If there is several ideas, maybe the first one, they will do it. And they are making horrible mistakes in the religion because they don't know about the religion, but they're the leaders. If somebody is afraid from the authorities to establish a medical clinic and start treating people because they know they might end up in jail for a long time, what about the house of Allah? We are going back to Allah. We all say that. Around us, we see literally, not that every one of us sees, but we know that millions of people die every year. You might be thinking that maybe 3,000 people die all over the world. You're the ones who are doing all this searching on the internet, See what's the percentage of people who die every year and how many people died last year. So we know that millions of people are going back to Allah. And alhamdulillah, we say La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. This is the most important and significant statement of all time. That you say La ilaha illallah. Of course, those who were during the time of the prophets before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, their statement would include their prophet, Isa Rasulullah, Musa Rasulullah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's our legacy. It's our share from the prophets. So, alhamdulillah. So, fear from Allah should be prominent in whatever I do that has to do with the religion. If I don't have enough knowledge about the religion, then I should not, NOT, lead the masjid. You know that some masajid who asked me to help them write their constitution, a couple of dozen, maybe more, maybe 3 dozen masajid, alhamdulillah, help them with the constitution. They give me theirs so they can, I can fix it or add to it, whatever. In some of those constitutions, there is a joke. There is a joke. So remember, the leadership of the masjid or the Islamic center is people who have wealth, maybe they're educated, they're well connected, good organizers, maybe. Alhamdulillah, we need this in the Muslim Ummah. Wallah, we need this. They have a crucial part to do for the benefit of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But nobody tells them, why don't you take a course about the religion with the Imam? He's here. Look, he's the Imam. Allahu Akbar. Go behind the Imam, pray. After they finish, the Imam is their employee. They treat the Imam as an employee. They don't ask him much about many of the things they decide. And if he tells them, we shouldn't be doing that, I know for a fact that some of them would not care. They just do whatever comes to their mind. What about fear from Allah? You are messing up the house of Allah. Really. Things that they do that are incredible. Some masajid, they bring Jews and Christians to pray in the masjid. Why? Habibis, Habibi is my loved one. We love Muslims. So I'm making it Habibi's combination of English and Arabi. Ya Habibis. Why would you bring people who don't believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam or Isa, and those who believe Allah is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, to pray in the masjid? I remember one deputy imam of a masjid who we uncovered videos or audios for them, teaching some people who are learning with them. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, it's the same religion. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So this man comes and says to the people, we can bring people like Christians to pray in the masjid because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam allowed the Christians to pray in the masjid. Really? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam allowed the people of Trinity to commit shirk in his masjid? So I didn't rush to judgment. I wanted to see his evidence. The hadith that he mentioned is a weak hadith. So I looked at it, making sure that it is the hadith I know. I said, it's a weak hadith. He said, how do you look at the hadith and decide? Because I know the hadith. Because I know this hadith. This kind of people shouldn't be advising anybody. I'm talking about imams who promote the Quran and Sunnah. Period. And the way of as-Salaf as-Salih. These are the imams. Anyway, some of those constitutions, I was talking about constitutions, a constitution that said the imam is a non-voting member of the board. That's a joke. Really? Really, it's a joke. So the only one qualified to talk about the issues pertaining to a religious institution designation, Islam, a Muslim house for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the only one who can't vote. What are you talking about? They would be voting about things in the religion. One masjid, a big masjid, a huge masjid, told me, why don't you come and work with us as an imam? I refused. And at that time, I gave khutbah. After the khutbah, of course, somebody stood up and we're going to have a demonstration. This. I said, if I was your imam and you tell me as you told the imam to announce, it wasn't somebody, it was the imam actually who made the announcement. If you tell me to make this announcement, I'll make a good announcement for you from the minbar. Do not go on a demonstration for any reason. It's not a part of the Sunnah. And demonstrations, except for a few of them, they don't make any change about anything. I said, would you like me to do that? Of course they won't. The leadership of the Masajid in America is run by commoners. That doesn't make any sense. And the mistakes, the things they are doing, the interfaith, instead of allowing the imam to have the decision about the religious aspects of the institution, the organization, the masjid, the center, they shut him up, treat him like an employee, instead of allowing this imam to tell them what's right and what's wrong. They don't do that. They don't listen to the imam. They have a commoner running the masjid with a board that is commoners in the religion, in a religious institution, without a license that says, I graduated from a 6-week course on Islam 101. Okay? Nothing. Some of those leaders, when a brother was telling them, what they're doing, asking them. He was quoting the Bible. And the brother said, quoting the Bible, why don't you quote the Quran? La ilaha illallah. So in general, the commoners control the Islamic centers in America, and they do whatever comes to their mind. They resist the Sunnah and the callers to the Sunnah as a general statement. Many Masajid, they don't. Many Masajid have good people. I'm just talking about this kind of Muslim who are running the Masajid. They are allowing mixing between men and women. They are allowing their children to mix with Christian children in the masjid, so that, we do violence. Who's teaching violence? Nobody's teaching violence. It's only the crazy Khawarij who are teaching violence. We don't follow them. Or they talk only about politics. I remember a huge masjid I visited, and people there, some of them knew who I was. They told me, give, a little talk. And the people were just sitting, not paying much attention. I started talking, and I said some things about aspects of the religion that to me, I think it was basic. I didn't really say something that is so astonishing, and the people started listening. And I told them, what's going on after? Asked. He said, all what they hear in this masjid is politics. Or they don't talk about politics, about how to bring the Jews and Christians together with Muslims. Now, why didn't you teach your congregation, the Muslims, your responsibility with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is connected to the idea, to the practice, to the religion? We have fear from Allah. It's connected to that. Teach them something good. Let the Imam be the leader of the Islamic aspects of the Islamic center. Let him have a veto power. I mean, not a veto power. He can say no to anything that these people decide that's not Islamic. They talk about other aspects. Okay, Habibi, I have no problem. When some of the Masajid I was helping, they had a committee for the engineers. I left. I come sit with us. Okay, just tell me the plan, and I'll tell you if, what I see, alhamdulillah, confirms to the religion. Alhamdulillah. But the Masajid in America are led by commoners. The vast majority of them lack sufficient knowledge in Islam in an Islamic institution connected to the religion of Islam. This is why they do things that unbelievable. Interfaith now, it became like breakfast to these Masajid. Breakfast every week, interfaith. You know what? I was in a masjid, and in Texas, when I came to America here, I went to college in Texas. I'm not going to mention the city. So I know that masjid. I was there with us. So one of the leaders of the masjid, he was with us, alhamdulillah, talking, and went inside a room. Then he came out with a black shirt with something white here. I have no idea what it is. It is his shirt, pulled it up, or he put some sticker or something. He looked like a priest. No. He was wearing the clothes of a priest. I said, what happened to you, man? You just were with us now. We're talking about, mashallah, this masjid. I'm going to go to an interfaith meeting. Would you like to come with us? I said, no, I'm not coming. Because if I go there, I'm going to denounce you in front of those people and say, these people, they are cheating you. They are not telling you what the religion actually calls to. They are talking about similarities. But why did Allah send Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam if there are no differences? You see that Allah sent His Rasul because there are differences that He wanted to convey especially with regards to Tawheed al-Ilahiyya, that Allah is the only one who deserves to be worshipped. And of course to teach Asma al-Sifat and al-Rububiyyah. He didn't come to say Christians are good, Jews are good, we're all good, mashallah. No way Muhammad was sent for that. You are cheating the people if you're not telling them why Allah sent Muhammad and what's the difference between Muhammad and his religion, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the Christianity or Judaism. Otherwise, you're cheating the people, just telling them, you don't steal, we don't steal, check. You don't lie, we don't lie, check. I mean, the religion doesn't allow them to lie. But lying is, mashallah. Anyway, you don't do that, okay, ma'as-salama, go home. But they didn't know why Allah sent Muhammad. What's the difference? Why should they become Muslim? This is the first crime. It's so widespread. Everywhere I go, almost every masajid, except those who want to follow the Sunnah or other masajid, you know, they have this. It's a crime against Tawheed. So widespread. Like I said, like it's breakfast. They woke up in the morning, breakfaster, mashallah, fill the stomach, go to interfaith. If it is a discussion about the religions, I'm not going to call it interfaith. Don't you think that at least you'll have knowledge about the religion you are representing? Maybe they send an imam sometimes, that imam is not following the religion because, you know, they're doing the interfaith. So organization-wise, so many masajid, so many of them are not in good shape. Every masjid you go to, $1 million, $5 million, $3 million, $6 million. One masjid, a new imam came, mashallah, sincere brother, but he didn't have much experience in America. So he knew that I raise funds for masajid. I help masajid raise funds, alhamdulillah. He wanted me to raise funds for his masjid. I said, okay, alhamdulillah, I came here before, gave khutbah, gave classes. You were nice and kind. So tell me what the details. I said, well, these people actually took a loan. I think it was $4 million from a bank. I said, Riba Bank? Yeah, Riba Bank. What? Masjid? Allah's house? Bought on Riba? Baytullah? Riba? He said yes, and we still owe, I think, I'm not sure about the numbers, but I think he said $2 million. I said, I'm not going to help you raise a penny. Habibi, this is haram. He said, well, I know it's haram. How can I get that? I said, well, I'm not going to. People get, you get yourself into trouble. They get themselves into trouble with Allah. And then come after we tell them it's haram, 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 haram. They come and do that and ask us for, what can I do? My solution was, from the beginning, what kind of barakah you think Allah will give you in a house you claim it is for him, that is built on a major sin that he called haram, that he called a war against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah will wage war against those who, after hearing the ayat that riba is haram, and they still do it. La ilaha illallah. A word from Allah and his messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So I said, sell the place and, you know, let the community deal with it. I have nothing to do with it. Establish another place. You don't have to have this huge building. You know, maybe sometimes I'm thinking the building is so high that maybe Adam, if he comes, he can't stand. He was taller than that, but maybe Adam would stick his house, maybe his head in it, and it will fit him. Adam alayhi salam, the father of humanity who brought Tawheed to this earth. La ilaha illallah. So I said, no, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with it, and I don't know what happened with them after. So we have the matter of interfaith. You have the matter of organization. The masajid are in bad shape except for a few of them, and I'll tell you why. They're all asking for money. Ya akhi, ya ukhti. almost every week. We need this bill. How we have to do this, this, that, and this expansion, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. They're always asking for money, begging the people for money. And the people in America, except for those who are wealthy or very few, they're ordinary people. You don't pressure them too much, But, we need money, we need money, we need money, we need money. I haven't seen masajid that are sufficient financially except for a few of them. And I thank the people immediately. Jazakumullah khairan. I haven't seen masajid that, along with the expansion, a little bit of, investment in a business, so that we don't keep begging people for money. Business, alhamdulillah. Business for the masjid, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah. As for the knowledge, I've seen so many leaders of masajid, and I'm saying this because I fear for them. I fear they're messing up Allah's house. They're messing up Tawheed with this interfaith. They're messing up the Islamic institutions. They're always in need of money because they can't finish an expansion, but they start another one. And many other stories, but the majority of the masajid in America are run, many of them like tyrants do, by tyrants who won't listen to anything. They don't have knowledge in the religion. Whatever comes to their mind. Occasionally, maybe they'll ask the imam. Maybe they'll tell the imam, we have this occasion, come give it a talk. But he can't decide about this occasion or anything. It is not good. It is not good, brothers and sisters. Those who run the masajid, fear Allah. For your sake with Allah, fear Allah. It's an Islamic institution. Your first job is to look for someone who's qualified to run this Islamic institution at a minimum with regards to the Islamic aspects of that institution. Don't do anything that comes to your mind. Some masajid had so many imams coming and going. They're frustrated. I'll give you a story, then I'll finish with this. I think you got the picture. Most of the masajid in America, so many of them, except for a few, and I've seen some masajid run by commoners who respect the religion. I'm not talking about, but in general, mark my words, in general, most of the masajid in America are run by commoners. So many of them don't have a clue about the Islamic religion. They know about a few things here and there, but it's an Islamic institution that's supposed to suffice for the people, the Muslim community, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and taking care of their family Islamically. Let them come to this institution. And for outside the masjid, doing da'wah to Islam as it is, without change, no interfaith. So we have the problem of the commoners running so many masajid in America. We have well over 10,000 masjid in America, whether big, small, or medium size. Interfaith is dominant. This is how they do da'wah. If they do da'wah, they mess up the religion of Islam, mess up Tawheed. We have articles and videos about interfaith, and their whole entire game is about similarities. They don't talk about the differences and why they should become Muslim, because they will tell you, well, if the religions are the same, I'll stay where I am. Organization, they have trouble organizing the masajid, big masajid. They tell me they're in trouble because they started a project, they can't finish the project. They do this because, again, they might not listen even to those who are professional with regards to expansion and everything. They just want things done their way. And the finances. This is 4 points I'm talking about today. They're not the only ones, but this is an advice to those who are running the masajid. The finances. Ya akhi, ya ukhti, so many masajid. I go to big, small, medium size. We have this bill we have to pay. We don't have money. We have $300 in the operations account. why don't you do a business, that will spend on the masjid, a house for the imam, so that you don't have to pay the entire salary. A house for the imam, a nice house, a good house, not that the one I was in a couple of years ago with mold. Allah knows how I survived that. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Give good salaries to the imam. So let me finish with this story and let you go. One good brother, I love him. He is on the sunnah. But sometimes your brothers and sisters, they're not aware of everything. So they were looking for imam for 10 years, I think, or something. I love this brother. He's a good brother. But, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So he was eager to find the imam for the masjid, and he put I told him, well, tell me, what is it you want the imam to do so that I can try to send you some brothers. He gave me a list of, I think, about 18 duties for the imam, including you have to be available 24 hours a day. Why? You have an emergency salah prayer? Yeah, this man here, we have an emergency. He wants to pray and we need you to come and carry him on your shoulders and put him there 24 hours. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why? There is a surgery on somebody's heart or something? I don't mean, by telling him, my brother, you have to pray. I know it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but you have to pray. I left my family. I couldn't sleep, whatever. So I told him, this is nonsense. Remove it. Another one is you have to do this and that and this. I said, remove this, remove this, remove this. And then one point I was joking with him. He was, you have to also take care of those who die, washing them and whatever. I said, why don't you add, take care of the living too, washing them, the parts of wudu, you stand at the door and have some water and wash them for wudu. I said, all these duties, I said, many imams, I know for a fact, don't like to be involved in washing the dead. Why are you doing this? And the salary, the salary. And they didn't offer a house or an apartment or, the salary was for the imam might have a family, needs to rent a house. Is it $6,000? No, remove one. $5,000? Remove one. $4,000? $3,000? No. $2,000? No. $1,800. What are you going to do with $1,800? I remember when I worked as an imam somewhere, for $1,800, my rent was $1,600. And then you're complaining why you don't have imams. The imams comes, and the minute they get here, they start looking around and scanning, is there a better situation? Because these imams are human beings. I assure you, they are human beings. They need, just like you. You wouldn't work for $1,800, would you? These days, with a family, so you can pay for rent? You wouldn't. Why would you offer the imam the masjid? Give the imams respect. I said 4 points, I'm adding 5. Give the imams respect. They are the only ones in so many of those organizations who have knowledge in the religion, in a religious institution that is called the House of Allah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us knowledge in the religion. We need the Masajid to succeed in America and everywhere else. And please have the leadership change as soon as possible, because things as they are, they're not sufficient. They're not good. They might not lead to prospering for the Muslims in their faith practices and the religion itself. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.